Good afternoon, folks. This is JK from the Ministry of Otaku. I hope you're doing okay in this dystopian and catastrophic time in this world. Blerdcon came and went, and thank God I did not attend. It was a massive mask fest, and the vaccine requirement basically told me to stay away. Basically, a celebration of COVID culture instead of celebrating the end of COVID with the vaccines already came. But ultimately, thank God I did not attend. I had much more enjoyable experience with Anime Matsuri 2021, and I already made a video of the convention loot I have, and I will be making a video on how was Anime Matsuri in the near future, possibly today or tomorrow. And besides, in short, there was no hygiene fear, no mask wearing, almost no mask wearing, no hygiene gimmicks, no vaccine selling. It was just a normal convention. Normalcy is something that most Americans have shown that they probably taking for granted and basically threw in the trash. Now, today I want to talk about something that happened during the Blerdcon Cosplay Contest, where evidently a white cosplayer who possibly attended the convention, which is marketed as the first con of the summer in the DC metropolitan area, attended the contest and won. Now, what is Blerdcon? Blerdcon is a convention dedicated to the black nerd culture, and a lot of black Americans from the DC metropolitan area attend. I attended in 2017 and 2019. I skipped in 2018 because I attended Blerdcon for one day on Saturday. But I think on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, definitely Saturday. But despite Blerdcon being woke, it was pretty much a chill place to be. Primarily because of the 24-hour video game hallway, 24-hour DJ hall that was in the middle of the arts alley area. Basically an arcade and DJ hall. I attended the convention to document it and basically support the black American people. Basically support black American creators and fans. Because why not? And I basically commuted there as a mini vacation. I was planning to attend on 2020 as part of the grand year of anime cons, but Corona Jan happened. State governors shat the bed, and we ended up with a totally different convention culture. Now, let's talk about the convention cosplay contest itself. Now, it appears that a white Caucasian cosplayer won the contest, and yes, she actually won. A white Caucasian cosplayer actually won, and it's not because of her skin color. It's because of the fact that she won by merit. And which is true, because cosplay contests are won by merit through handmade costumes, not exhibition cosplays or store-bought cosplays. Now let's go over the rules of the Blerdcon cosplay contest. If I can find it here. There it is. Now, it says here that anyone in cosplay may enter. Basically, anyone in cosplay can enter, regardless of race or color. This means you, person in the cosplay that took 6 months to make, but who is now standing off to the side thinking that you aren't good enough. Cosplay is for everyone. Don't doubt it. And I fully agree, cosplay is for everyone, regardless of race, color, nationality, sexuality, gender identity, sex, no matter different they are, no matter which difference they are. Now that's one thing that they apparently Blerdcon took itself seriously. That's inclusive, and apparently inclusive means all skin colors and races. And there was actually a few in that rule book, in that rule page, there are a few questions. and concerns. Like, I spent a lot of time on this, but some people will purchase. It's okay. We want 80% of your costume to be made by you. But don't worry, modification of purchase items is allowed. The judges know what they're looking for and what they want to see. Okay, serious question. How to become the Blerdcon cosplay champion? This one's easy. You need to have 80% of your costume. We know store-bought costumes and commission costumes show how much love the character you're cosplaying. But the place of champion must go to the person that is not only the embodiment of their character, but also cosplay showcase the level of this skill they put in the costume. This year, in 2021, they were focusing heavily on quality completed work as a whole. It says that on the page, quality completed work, from top knot to boot cover. And there's a good reason why some of the cosplays, even though they're well made, it's not quality completed. And it says, alright, I want to know how do I submit entry and where does it start? Online entry begins now with recover when we selected 35 contestants. Basically, you can read the rest of the rulebook page here. But they were focusing on two things: quality completed work and handmade cosplay costumes that are at least 8% made. 8% made by the cosplayer itself. Now, let's look at the first picture. And you can easily tell that this costume is well made. Well made cosplay from Kato Sakura. And it's very clear that she won by merit. The contest, despite being for Black Americans, was open to everyone, just like it should. And there were a lot of good cosplay entries. Now, this one in a mecha costume, it's unique, well made, but the patches, the black crosses, I saw one picture that it was rough. The patches were made rough because they want quality quality costumes from top to bottom. Here's another one. Health and safety, because we don't know who is actually cosplaying. It's for anonymity. A face should complete the cosplay, no matter no matter which skin color they are, unless the person is already wearing a mask that is part of the costume. Now let's see pictures here. Now let's see the commentary. Let's see this commentary here. Basically, the first person who actually got pissed that a white woman won the cosplay contest was Bianca Nicole. She says the first picture is the white girl who won the costume contest at Blerdcon with that store-bought looking costume. Next two pics were other contestants she won against. How? And there's more commentary. And she accused the cosplayer who won as being paid off. Like, she must have paid somebody off. There's no way that costume won. I would have been sick, my friends. If the judging guidelines already gave the contest to a white girl with a wrinkled costume just because her costume was more recognizable, that needs to be changed ASAP. Here's the thing. If you actually read the cosplay contest rules, they want quality-made costumes and 80% of the costume to be handmade. At least 80%. And I found out that the costume was made 100% by her. 100% by the cosplayer itself. Moving on, and why did she, as a white girl, feel comfortable in the contest in the first place? The only reason we have Blerdcon because historically white nerds are very, very trash. You mean like basement dweller trash? I've seen a lot of cosplayers and anime convention goers that are not trash. They're just normal people like you and me. So now we have our own thing. It just can't be ours. It can't just be ours. If we are going to be working in certain spaces, we need to have our own. Now this is going on new because I got study for finance and Twitter, and huge distraction for me. I've got to mention one thing. I've seen a bunch of posts about a white girl getting death threats, and that's pretty extreme. The whole thing's annoying, but that girl doesn't need to die. Definitely, death threats is the last thing you'll do to a person. It's a federal offense, and it's a criminal offense. You could definitely go to jail for that, for death threats. Here's no Twitter post from Jazzy. I'm sorry, but what are American black folk trying to achieve, creating a convention where only black people are allowed? Segregation? Am I missing something here? Because people are actually upset at a white girl or being here? That is pretty nuts to me. It is because of the fact that cosplay is for everyone. They virtue saying about this, but when a white girl actually takes this seriously and this is a contest and they get angry, that's really shows it's more virtue signaling than anything else. And besides that, segregation has been outlawed since 1964 due to the U.S. Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964. You should read that up. Should definitely read that up. My interesting comment is that's probably because it's a costume contest where craftsmanship is the ruler, not skin tone, as it should. It's based on merit and creativity. If you didn't make your costume, then you probably won't win. Craftsmanship usually goes to those who hand through their work in costume contests, as it should, as it always should. No exhibition cosplays, no someone helping you out. It has to be handmade by your own. 8% minimum. Looking at what happened in the Blerdcon cosplay contest, I see a lot of y'all don't get taken seriously. Y'all are literally mad at white girl for when it was open for everyone, as it should. And on top of that, y'all tell she doesn't belong and send death threats? Seriously, Blerdcon advertised itself as the first con of the summer. It was advertised to everyone, and I have no objection if a Caucasian white girl or an Asian American comes in and comes to the convention. They are literally supporting black American fans, black American Otaku, black Americans at the Dealers Hall, Artist Alley. Money is money, attention is tension, viewership is viewership, attendance is attendance. They would, seriously, I have no objection anyone attending a black American convention. It might be dedicated for black Americans, but if Caucasian Americans and Asian Americans can learn something from black Americans, and they learn something, and we learn something from Asian Americans and Caucasians, that's something. That should be a plus. Isn't this the real definition of diversity? If not, what is? Because this anti-racism mentality really means nothing if it's okay to be racist against white Americans. Now here's I'm going to show you two full statements from Facebook. One from Dax Martin, and the other from Dax exclamation point. Which are the same person. Yeah, Dax Martin and Dax exclamation point. Here's one for Facebook. I'm seeing a lot of y'all out there sharing the posts about the winner of the Blerdcon costume contest. Most of the shares I'm seeing are from people who weren't there. As one of the judges, let me just say yes, I would have preferred the winner to be black, but on the other hand, I was there to judge craftsmanship and work, as it should. What? Should the dude who made a dragon tail out of a single Pringles can and construction paper win it just because he's black? Maybe the several cosplayers were in store bought basic store-bought clothes. Listen, I'm all for supporting and promoting black cosplayers, and at the same time, I'm not going to blow smoke up someone's ass just because they showed up today. And to answer your question, yes, the winner made absolutely every piece of her costume by hand. So for all intents and purposes, she has basically won by effectively default, because the person you saw, that Captain Sakura cosplayer, she made every piece of that costume by hand. And further on in post, yes, the dress was hand-dried silk, and yes, she spent all day in a fucking hoop skirt and 3 petticoats that were also handmade. So sorry if it doesn't stack up next to a Halloween costume that came out of a bag. She also made a Twitter post saying, first and foremost, I love Blerdcon because it's inclusivity. It's called Blerdcon, but that does not mean other people of other ethnicities and backgrounds can't participate. Regardless, all the contestants did the best they could, and we appreciate all entries. We try to be absolutely impartial as possible. We agreed on Century Ballroom rules and assigned each contestant a single number score 1 through 10 based on their costume. That was over. We combined our numbers and then discussed which looks were top rated for us and why. This was based on technical skill, amount of work, finishing, materials, and detail. Not sheer size of the costume, not much Ava foam was used. I could get into the exact reasons why I personally scored some larger bills the way I did, but that is not helpful right now. Always know when their work needs improvement, and I will 100% say the detail of finishing matter higher to me physically. An expertly made garment is always going to weigh higher than a massive prop. If I can see glue marks or can tell the paint job was rushed. I will also add the subject of race never came out on discussion. The panel included 4 black cosplayers with varying specialties and areas of interest, and the division took roughly an hour after prejudging ended. I'm sorry to anyone who disagreed with the choices made. I feel like that happens with literally every cosplay contest at every con ever. I can only speak for myself and what I look for in judging, and I'm sorry that people disagree with the outcome. I will also say entering a costume contest is is hard for a lot of people. Spoiler, most nerds are terrified of that level of attention. There's no reason to bully or attack a cosplayer for making a costume and walking across the stage. That is supposed to be fun. I'm not tagging the other judges or the con directly. My statement is not theirs. I just felt compelled to respond to the situation because I feel so bad for cosplayers having to deal with backlash for something they didn't do anything wrong. I've also suggested to the convention going forward they specific categories within the costume contest more than just the top 3, as well as potentially facing, including an audience vote / fan favorite portion that can be factored into final judging decisions. Hopefully next year we can avoid this time situation, but in the meantime, I just want to address what's going on and urge everyone to leave the contestants alone. They don't deserve any bullying, backlash, or hate. Thank you. As it should. So that's basically said her piece. She basically says she did impartially. She judged regardless of race or skin color, as it should. She based her decisions on merit and creativity, based on the rules I've read. Seriously, all this shit that's going on because of the Caucasian American entering the convention, entering the cosplay contest. This is the definition of inclusivity. And the problem is that you've been through so much racial hysteria based on the 2020 protests and riots that instead of following through Martin Luther King's teachings of judge by the content, not of their skin, instead you want to be anti-racist. And apparently it's okay to be racist if it's against Caucasian whites. I was taught at an early age not to be racist to anyone. And it's disgusting that I'm seeing a culture change in the anime convention community. Cosplay is supposed to be for everyone, regardless of your background. And it's disgusting that people are angry that a white woman entered the cosplay contest and won on merit. You all talk about inclusivity, not being racist, being anti-racist, but when push comes to shove, you get angry and you lash out instead of actually trying hard to be better. In hindsight, thank God I did not attend Blerdcon this year. Thank God I did not attend, because all this talk of inclusivity, being anti-racist for the past 18 months is not more than virtue signaling. Literally virtue signaling. And seriously, we should be proud of this happening. We should be proud that racial tolerance still exists, despite the racial hysteria for the past 18 months. We should be proud of this happening. But no, instead of celebrating it, you attack it. That's why I'm having second thoughts of attending Blerdcon in 2022. We should definitely do better. But right now, we're not doing better. We don't want to. And at this rate, we don't want to do better. Which is really a shame. Because I'm friends with black cosplayers, Caucasian cosplayers. I can sense a cultural change. Not only in fake wokeness, but in the general anime convention culture. And it's getting to a point where I don't want to be part of this. If virtue signaling is more important than actual action and actual doing, then I want no part of the anime convention community. Seriously, I'm actually having thoughts of retiring from the scene if people are not speaking up against this cultural change. Cosplays and conventions should be for everyone. If we're going to start segregating people based in the anime convention scene, in anime, manga, video games, and cosplay, I don't want any of this at all. And Blerdcon, the owner of Blerdcon, definitely needs to do better. He needs to speak out against this fake wokeness. It's bad enough they gone COVID woke. But anti-racist woke? That is inexcusable. We need to be for everyone. Conventions need to be for everyone, regardless of human differences. That's all I gotta say. What's your thoughts on this? Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all those things. This is Jay Gift from the Ministry of Otaku, signing out for now. Have a good day.